So I decided to do my presentation on the reading that was The Fandom is Free Labor. I love Henry Jenkins, first of all, so I had to do something that involved him. But yeah, I thought it was super interesting how it talked about how fandoms historically, these fandoms have been looked down upon in the way that they are perceived, I guess. Henry Jenkins said that fans and fandoms still constitute a scandalous category in contemporary culture, and it has a very negative connotation to it. They're usually perceived as being out of touch or fanatics, but the reading talked a lot about how fandoms aren't given the credit that they deserve, and about how maybe it's possible in the future for fan work to receive compensation. And it was interesting because it talked a lot about a lot of different ways that fans receive compensation, I guess, or perceive their own work. I guess to start and backtrack a little bit, it explained how fandoms are created by let's say for example a group or a movie. They create these commodities and they give value to those commodities, and by commodities it means a mundane thing that fandoms then attach a lot of meaning to. So something as simple as I don't know, I think the example I gave in the reading was a paperclip. So maybe a group or a band or a movie or whatever uses this paperclip, and then that fandom takes that paperclip and adds more meaning to it, and then because that fandom has added meaning to it, that corporation, that production company, whatever the label, can then go and sell that paperclip to more people or at a higher price than they otherwise could have, because that fandom had started attaching value to it. So in that way, fandoms give meaning to things that otherwise wouldn't have as much. So bands, movies, anything that would have a fandom wouldn't be as big of a thing if it weren't for the fans, because they're actively participating with this thing and they're making it so other people want to. Otherwise there wouldn't be value in participating with this thing or following these bands or following these movies. So with the video that I am going to link for you guys to watch is a BTS compilation. I actually started listening to BTS. I kind of looked into them a little bit a couple months ago, but I wasn't a fan or anything. And then just over the whole craziness online school that's been going on, I've been spending a lot of time on TikTok. The algorithm knows me so well now. Everything that's recommended to me is BTS now, so I've now learned their names, and I might even like them more than Harry Styles at this point. I know, but BTS is a very interesting case study, if you will. They're a fandom called ARMY. Out of all the fandoms that I've looked at or been part of, I think theirs is one of the least toxic. They really encourage each other to like the boys, to learn about the boys and learn about Korean culture, and to not be mean to each other, which I think is huge with fandoms, because usually with the crazy kind of celebrity fandoms, you'll find that some groups will want to support other celebrities more than others at the cost of degrading people, which is not cool. But with ARMY, I've seen that it's kind of just oh, we're all supporting the same thing and we all like this same group, which I thought went along really well with how the reading talked about how sometimes in these fan groups there are people who are the elderly and who help teach and bring in, inform the newcomers, and I've seen that a lot with ARMY stuff, just because I've been trying to learn BTS's names and I think I've nailed them, but when I was first starting to learn them a couple of weeks ago, I posted on a lot of social media sites being I'd screenshot at one of the group members and be who's this? And I'd always be so surprised that people would be oh, it's this person, or I'd be what are they saying? And people would help and respond, which I thought was super cool. BTS is really cool. You guys should all convert. I definitely have over the break. Another reason that I'm sharing the video that I shared is to show, because I feel this video is encompasses a lot of the different music fandom, like music group fandoms that there are, and like the kind of material that they're constantly making. And it's just kind of material that will keep the fans entertained and keep the group, like keep BTS in this case, at like a higher level of like, oh, they're so cool, they're so funny, I want to keep watching their stuff because they're so relatable or they're so funny or that kind of thing. With the prompt that Kimball put for us, do I think that fandom groups will ever receive true compensation? Maybe? I don't know, it's kind of weird because at this point, like, even just like creators who use the platform, like YouTubers who purposely want to use the market to like grow a career out of it, even they're having a hard time making money out of it. So it's kind of, I don't see fan groups being able to be compensated in the near future just because it is so hard. But you know, maybe it'd be cool. Maybe social media would play a bigger part, and if you have like these fan groups with a certain following, like companies would pay you to post things. I don't know. And then I also linked BTS's Carpool Karaoke, which I think you should all watch if you have 15 minutes, which I think a lot of you might have 15 minutes in the next few weeks, so you should go watch it. It's really fun. But yeah.